Excuse me.
I think you still hold the, I think your 21-footer was still better than Luka's 21-footer. But what do you think of Luka's 21-footer?
Man, I was running back my defense, shaking my head, man. That's how you know you're having fun with the game and you're just having a great night. So we've seen him hit some ridiculous shots before. I mean, he hit like this crazy trick shot before the game. He's been trying it for the last like 10 games, trying to get that shot to go in. So it was going to be one of those nights for sure once he hits those. And really proud of him that he kept staying aggressive. And I mean, he's having fun, and that's what you want when you're playing out there with somebody special.
What's going on through your mind, Kyrie, when he comes out of the gate playing the way he's playing, 22 points in the first quarter?
I love it. I love it. It makes all of us lock in a little bit more and just be complimentary. I think one thing that I've learned is being on a very special team, great teams, right? You got to be able to play every role. So when somebody's the scorer for 5 straight minutes, keep feeding that good energy, that positive reinforcement, and you just play defense and enjoy doing the little things for someone to get back on the offensive end, because when he's being that efficient, he's being that aggressive, it'll open up more opportunities for us. So just got to be ready to play every role when someone's got it going like that. It could be anyone's night, and I think you've seen that over our winning streak. It just, Luka gets it going and someone else gets it going, and we have another third or fourth scorer coming in, and I think that's how we're creating separation in these games.
Anything in particular you noticed about the way the team has played these last 12 games?
You said what?
Anything in particular you noticed about the way this team has played the last 12 games? You haven't won the last 12 games.
I mean, we're just not satisfied. I think, again, we know where we are positioning-wise and we know what we're fighting for, so we just want to continue to put our best foot forward game to game and take it 1 minute at a time, and that's all we can do.
Kyrie, coming into this game, I just wanted to know your thoughts on what have you thought about watching the emergence of Jaylen Green? Coming into this game, it seemed like he was really starting to come into his own and stuff.
I've been a huge supporter of Jaylen since he was in high school. I've been watching a lot of his highlights on YouTube. Seeing his maturity, seeing his ascension really as a young leader in our league, and him answering all the naysayers, right? Or him answering his own calls, or him rising up to his potential that we thought he was going to be at. Just even when he first came into the league, just a premier scorer, able to get his team wins and play through contact, and also do it consistently night after night. Those are what the special players, the greatest players do. They do it every single night. And he didn't shoot particularly well tonight. I mean, we had a defense baked in for him. So when you're having that type of stretch, we're going to make it a little bit tougher on you. So I know he's going to go home and think about it. But I think the maturity that he's shown over these past 2 months or so has been tremendous. And I'm nothing short of proud of him as a big brother.
Kyrie, I want to commend you for your ability to be vocal and your dedication to the progress of Black people in America. Mm-hmm. And with that said, in your opinion, what do you think is the role of today's Black athlete when it comes to social justice, freedom, and equality?
I think the most important thing is learning what a true superpower reading is, and being aware of what your ancestors did before you and reclaiming that power. I think the modern day athlete is not just an athlete anymore by title. I think you have to be more. You have to do more. You have to be socially aware. You have to be racially aware, and you also have to be politically aware of the society that we're in, and also how you make change on those different levels. So I think it starts with our education. I think we kind of need to move away from just this coined phrase of financial literacy is going to liberate us. We have people in the world that are Black or African American, or Afro American, or Moorish, or we have so many different identities that we go by. I think once you kind of hone in on the message that I'm trying to get across, which is we just need more unity, and we need to consistently sustain that unity. And we have the power inside of us, but I think we need to walk with grace and be ready to act. It's been a war on skin color for a long time, so just being aware of that and seeing how you can galvanize others to not necessarily believe what you believe, but be willing to challenge your belief system and also encourage you to learn more and be more. So I think I have a responsibility of not only being of African descendants or indigenous descendants, having ancestors that have fought in wars, genocides, and strive. For me to even be in this position today, I don't take it for granted. So, I know that was a long-winded answer, but it needs to be long-winded. because right now we need to have these conversations around race comfortably and civilly. We can do that. So I can do it. I'm at peace with myself, and I'm at peace with other races and other walks of life, other religions. So when we can have a civil conversation about how we move forward in our world, I think you'll see more things change and more people speaking about it.
Before the game, Coach Udoka said you were the best player, one-on-one player, most skillful player he's ever seen, been around. But Coach, what do you say to that?
I'm appreciative of those compliments, and I honor those compliments. And I'll say this as well. I'm appreciative of everyone's most skilled compliments, but that's not the reason why I picked up the basketball. I didn't pick up the basketball to be the best one-on-one player of all time, or to be labeled as the most skilled. I just want to be known as a great winner, one of those guys that came through our league and left an impact and did it his own way, but also did it with some special teammates, and truly was just inspirational in my approach and how I woke up every single day and worked towards my craft, and just set an example for not only athletes but for people around the world to follow my footsteps. To make mistakes in the public forum and learn from them and mature as a young man. And, it's not easy being a child prodigy growing up in America. People expect you to be more mature than what you are. So, I'm appreciative. Again, I want to answer your question. I'm appreciative of Imi's comments, but I also want to kind of relay a message to the rest of the world that, the most skilled, just save those compliments for after I'm done. I never want to discredit the people who came before me. There were some bad MFers that came before me before you start saying I'm the most skilled. Again, I respect everyone's compliments, but don't put me in that conversation until you really get to know NBA history and who's come before me and guys that have scored gazillions of points and assists and rebounds and made a true impact. I just want to fall in alignment with that and just continue to pass the game on to the next generation that way.
Speaking of that, Kyrie, you said, I think it was when you were in Brooklyn, you were talking about how you talked to Jaylen, how you talked to KPJ at that time about leaving a legacy. You felt the responsibility to make sure that you left something so those guys can pick up and come behind you. Have you seen that with Jaylen here and like with Anthony Edwards up in Minnesota?
Yeah, for sure. I'm in that kind of middle of the age sort of thing, like in the league where I'm well respected by my younger peers. They've watched me when they were little, younger kids in high school or middle school, and now I'm kind of becoming that elder statesman. You're gonna see like Bron, Steph, KD. Those guys are gonna eventually ascend out, and then it's gonna be me and a few guys left in my generation that are gonna be the 30-year-olds, and we just want to set a great example for us knowing the history. That was the most important thing for me is when I came into the NBA is knowing the history. So once you know the history, then you take some of the pressure off your back. And it's not just to perform well for the fans, perform well for organizations. It's about how you put your family in a different position, and then you have a band of brothers that you compete against, 7 months to 9 months out of the year, and then we go at it for a championship, and then we go to the summer, and then we come back at it. That's a simple formula. Every external thing that comes with this is pretty much extra fluff on it. It makes the theatrics fun, it makes the business even more profitable, so social media aspect. But I always want to tell my peers just to take it one day at a time, and don't listen to anyone that hasn't necessarily tried to understand the position that you're in, and take advice from people that are going to take their own advice. So I think Jaylen and these guys are taking their own advice, but also willing to listen, and you can see they're rewarding themselves from it.
Thanks.